Dinar Shift. The global currency community is currently navigating a powerful wave of emotion, rumor, and intense anticipation centered on two particular currencies: the Iraqi Dinar, IQD, and the Vietnamese Dong, VND. This past week has seen an explosion of claims across online forums and social media, suggesting that the exchange values of both currencies are experiencing unprecedented, real-time movement. For many who have held these currencies for years, this feels like the long-awaited signal, the closest moment yet to a significant financial adjustment that could fundamentally change their lives overnight. This pervasive atmosphere of hope and confusion demands a clear-eyed look at the facts. We must separate the speculation that fuels online excitement from the verifiable economic data. It is crucial to proceed with informed caution, particularly as official global financial bodies and central banks in both Iraq and Vietnam have maintained their silence regarding these dramatic, fast-spreading rumors. This is the very reason why every holder must pay close attention to the authenticated details of the situation. The core of the present financial buzz lies in unconfirmed reports shared within the currency speculation communities. Screenshots and anecdotal claims are being circulated, suggesting that bank screens and internal financial systems are flashing notably higher rates for the IQD and VND. These are presented as evidence of a massive sudden revaluation, or RV, already in motion. It is understandable that years of patience and belief in the potential of these currencies would lead people to embrace this information with enthusiasm. However, the critical issue is the complete lack of official corroboration. A rate flashing on a single unverified screen does not equate to a globally recognized, centrally implemented exchange rate adjustment. Financial experts emphasize that any authentic, significant shift in currency value would immediately be reflected across all major international exchange platforms, central bank announcements, and official government statements. The absence of this public, undeniable confirmation is the most telling detail in this highly charged situation. A significant driver of belief in the potential of the IQD and VND is the demonstrable economic progress in their respective nations. Proponents of a revaluation often point to the strengthening foundations of both Iraq and Vietnam. Iraq, for example, has been steadily increasing its vital oil production, working to solidify its security standing, and striving to enhance foreign trade relationships. These are undeniable steps toward greater economic stability. Similarly, Vietnam continues to demonstrate remarkable growth, emerging as one of Asia's most dynamic export-focused economies, attracting considerable foreign direct investment. While a robust economy is an essential precursor to currency appreciation, the jump from measured national growth to an instantaneous, massive currency revaluation is a policy step that governments rarely take lightly or in secret. Major financial policy decisions are implemented cautiously to ensure stability and avoid market chaos, underscoring the need for holders to view the latest rumors with a high degree of skepticism. To grasp the sustained nature of the IQD speculation, one must recall its historical context. Decades ago, prior to periods of conflict and sanctions, the Iraqi dinar held a far stronger international value. This history forms the bedrock of the belief among investors that, as Iraq rebuilds, modernizes its financial systems, and achieves full political stability, the dinar will ultimately be restored to a value more reflective of its resource wealth. The Vietnamese Dong situation is different, having historically been managed to keep its value low to support its vast export sector. Yet, Vietnam's consistent and powerful economic expansion naturally sparks the idea that its currency must, at some point, appreciate to reflect this newfound global standing. This mixture of historical memory and logical economic potential generates a powerful sense of hope, causing holders to scrutinize every online whisper, every screenshot, and every unverified intel update for the sign that their patience is about to be rewarded. It is this very hope that makes it difficult to maintain critical thinking. While the historical or economic possibilities are valid topics for discussion, they do not constitute a guarantee of sudden, mass-scale revaluation. Legitimate currency appreciation, when it occurs, is typically a slow, government-controlled, and transparent process announced through established global financial channels. This reality stands in sharp contrast to the feverish, next-week predictions that have characterized the rumor cycles for years. The current excitement in 2025 is fueled by a familiar pattern. Economic progress is reported, and then speculation immediately leaps ahead of the facts. Holders who maintain a realistic perspective understand that embracing the possibility of growth is wise, but acting solely on unverified hype can lead to financial missteps and costly emotional decisions. The current surge in rumors in 2025 is clearly traceable to several significant and genuine economic signals. For Iraq, efforts aimed at currency stability, enhancing bank transparency, and broader financial reform have been publicly announced and are underway. Meanwhile, Vietnam continues to report robust industry growth, increased tourism, and the strengthening of global export partnerships, especially with major world economies. These real improvements naturally generate optimism, causing investors to wonder if this is the threshold moment. However, policymakers in these nations prioritize national stability above all else, which means they are highly unlikely to execute a dramatic overnight price jump that could disrupt trade or create internal market chaos. The recent developments are being spun by rumor channels into a dramatic narrative of an imminent flip-the-switch event, spreading quickly among a community eager for confirmation after years of waiting. The phrase IQD and VND values going through the roof requires careful deconstruction. In the context of the rumors, this term overwhelmingly refers to these unverified bank screen reports or numbers shared without any official documentation, a mere fluctuate. IND rate observed on a local or private screen does not hold the weight of an official international exchange value. If a revaluation were truly in effect, the information would be instantly and universally broadcast. Foreign exchange markets, respected government agencies, and the major financial media outlets would be reporting it as the most significant economic news story of the year. The reality is that the observed small technical price movements in local markets are often seized upon, exaggerated, and then amplified online by speculation, transforming minor shifts into claims of massive revolutionary change. The question for every holder, therefore, remains: are we witnessing the authentic, albeit gradual, beginning of genuine currency adjustments, or are we experiencing yet another predictable rumor cycle driven by the community's intense desire for the change to be real? This distinction is absolutely vital. Acting purely on emotion without first verifying information through credible sources is the most common path to financial regret. Informed market participants avoid excitement-driven decisions, prioritize official confirmations, and take protective steps against scams and overinflated exchange prices, often found in speculative environments. The most powerful asset any holder possesses is not the currency itself, but the commitment to awareness, rigorous research, and unwavering patience in the face of sensational claims. The psychology of this long-term holding community plays a massive, undeniable role in the spread of these rumors. When individuals have invested time, hope, and money for a decade or more, every new piece of speculation can feel like the definitive proof that the dream is finally materializing. This deep emotional anticipation warps perception, allowing unproven speculation to be embraced as undeniable fact. Information is then shared at lightning speed, often without any pause for fact-checking. The entire ecosystem of currency rumors thrives on terms like breaking intel, secret updates, and inside sources, all of which are designed to create urgency and bypass logical analysis, even when the subsequent information is entirely without evidence. The constant churn of hype also serves as fertile ground for those who seek to exploit hope. Scammers deliberately target these communities, using the very language of urgency and secret information to lure in the vulnerable. They often promise access to private exchanges, very important person deals, or demand early access fees in exchange for a promised better rate. Countless individuals have already lost money by trusting these fraudulent messages. For those holding IQD or VND, financial security depends on protecting both their capital and their emotional state. A true, legitimate financial change would never be shrouded in secrecy, nor would it require backroom payments or special deals. Real revaluations, should they ever occur, will follow clear, public, and legal channels accessible to every single holder. The most successful holders are those who remain hopeful but who refuse to be blind to the risks. To truly understand the implications of the rumors, we must examine what a revaluation means in legitimate economic terms, entirely separate from the online hype. A currency revaluation is a formal act where a nation's government officially increases its money's value relative to other world currencies. This action is never arbitrary. It is a calculated measure taken to reflect substantial economic realities, such as robust foreign reserves, significant global trade confidence, and strong financial performance. It is a carefully managed economic adjustment, not a magic switch for instant wealth, and it must be underpinned by verifiable global indicators of economic health. For Iraq, a genuine revaluation would require a sustained commitment to modernizing its banking sector, achieving far greater market stability, successfully reducing systemic corruption, and ensuring long-term, diversified growth in industries beyond its crucial oil sector. For Vietnam, a significant appreciation of the Dong would mean a shift in policy, as a higher-valued currency would inevitably lead to some loss of the competitive edge its export-driven economy currently enjoys. While experts acknowledge the genuine long-term potential in both nations, They universally stress that any significant currency move would be meticulously planned, carefully managed, and publicly announced well in advance so that businesses and international trade partners have time to prepare. The idea of a secret, sudden, overnight jump without major global financial headlines remains an economic impossibility. Despite the structural realities of currency reform, one cannot dismiss why 2025 feels different to so many. Concrete steps are being taken in both nations that indicate progress. Iraq is undeniably moving toward digital banking expansion and better financial oversight. Vietnam continues to strengthen its global trade relationships and attract more manufacturing investment as global supply chains shift, highlighting its growing importance. These are real, substantive developments. And it is natural that as real progress occurs, the level of speculation increases proportionally. The vital, often missed truth is that currency value can and does rise gradually over time as a direct result of these real reforms. Long-term holders who are focused on the potential of this gradual appreciation may very well be rewarded for their careful patience. However, the narrative of overnight fortunes, where the currency multiplies its value thousands of times instantly, is where financial reality and speculation diverge most sharply. Major economic shifts are akin to turning a large tanker ship. They are processes that unfold slowly and deliberately. For those who maintain their belief in the potential of the IQD and VND, the smarter approach is to anchor that belief in verifiable reforms, not in the fluctuating noise of rumors. Tracking the real progress of their economies and monitoring official government announcements provides a far more reliable indicator of future value than any claim of leaked or secret information being broadcast in private chat groups. Any truly massive global financial event would be confirmed first by major organizations, not by unofficial channels on the internet. The constant rise and fall of rumors create a significant risk environment for safety and security. When excitement is high, so too is the volume of scam attempts. The traps are predictable: fake exchange centers, promises of dishonest brokers, and false claims of an immediate cash out. Scammers rely on the fact that intense, desperate excitement severely compromises logical decision-making. Their primary tool is urgency. Act now or miss your chance forever. Astute market participants must reject this pressure completely. It is paramount that currency is never handed over to any entity that is not an officially licensed financial institution, paying a fee to join a secret exchange or trusting an individual who promises a better rate than the central bank are red flags. A legitimate revaluation requires no backroom deals or secrecy. Transparency is the cornerstone of all credible financial reform. It is also important to look beyond the immediate hype and remember why people believed in these currencies' long-term potential in the first place. Iraq possesses the fifth largest proven oil reserves globally, a resource that provides immense economic leverage. With improved infrastructure, stronger governance, and stable policy, this force alone has the power to rebuild and diversify its major non-oil industries. Vietnam, on the other hand, is a powerhouse of non-oil exports, establishing itself as a global hub for manufacturing, electronics, and textiles. These are not speculative fantasies. They are concrete, measurable national strengths. Currency value is fundamentally tied to a nation's strength and stability. Therefore, holders are not misguided in believing in the future, but they must accept that major economic transformation is measured in years of advancement, not minutes of price changes. For those holding the currencies today, the focus must shift entirely to practical, responsible action. Firstly, secure and document your physical holdings. Keep detailed proof of purchase, such as receipts or certificates, in a safe place. Secondly, any necessary currency exchange must only be conducted through verified, credible financial institutions. Avoid sending currency via unknown, unverified mailing services. Thirdly, prioritize information exclusively from official government and central bank updates, ignoring all unverified online messages. The fact remains that if a change is real, it will not require secrecy. Fourthly, and perhaps most importantly, engage in financial planning. Understanding how to manage money wisely is what converts potential opportunity into genuine, long-term life improvement, ensuring that any major growth, should it occur, leads to stability and not chaos. The emotional experience of the IQD and VND holder is entirely unique. Many invested during challenging periods, pinning significant hope on a future financial change. This makes the dream intensely personal, yet dreams must be supported by strategy, not overwhelmed by impatience. When hope escalates into financial pressure, sound judgment often fails. The current moment is one of renewed excitement, but calm, rational confidence is far more valuable than an emotional rush. It is essential to treat these holdings as a long-term speculative possibility, not a guaranteed immediate windfall. The most astute approach in any market is to prepare for every potential outcome. If major gains arrive, the preparation ensures wise handling. If the changes remain slow, one's life stability continues uninterrupted. The specific viral claim of real-time RV movement revealed is a textbook example of how buzzwords like RV revaluation are misused to create online traffic. These claims are frequently reported without a single credible source or verifiable piece of evidence. Whenever someone claims to have inside secret access to global monetary reforms, the logical question is immediate and self-revealing. Why would an individual with secure government-level intelligence risk sharing it on social media instead of working directly with official authorities? The simple answer is that real intelligence does not leak through unverified rumor channels. All authentic financial policy updates are reported by recognized officials, not by online influencers. Always demand proof from respected financial data platforms, as verification is the strongest defense against misinformation. From a global perspective, major currency rate changes are never isolated events. They impact international trade balances, global investors, multinational businesses, and treaty agreements worldwide. The world economic system simply cannot sustain sudden, massive, uncoordinated shifts without a profound reaction. If Iraq or Vietnam were to implement a drastic overnight change in their exchange rate, every major news agency, economist, and international banking institution would report the change immediately and loudly. The fact that this has not happened is the ultimate logical refutation of any claim of a hidden or silent revaluation. Economic events of this magnitude, which touch upon a nation's survival, cannot be kept secret. While movement is always possible in any currency, exaggerated rumors are a massive distraction from the true, measured economic progress that is genuinely worth monitoring. It is completely understandable that many long-term holders of IQD or VND feel a sense of exhaustion. Years of unfulfilled rumors can deplete both trust and energy. Moving forward, the most beneficial mindset is one of realistic optimism. Hope remains a positive force, and preparation is the essence of a smart strategy, but relying entirely on a single speculative possibility is inherently risky. If future gains materialize, they should be viewed as a welcome bonus, not the sole foundation of one's future. Maintaining focus on stable personal income, consistent saving strategies, and continuous self-development ensures that one's life trajectory remains strong, regardless of what the currencies do. Wise financial counsel always dictates against placing one's entire future on a speculative timing event. If these currencies were to strengthen over time, a positive and realistic path would look very different from the current rumor narrative. It would involve slow, measured increases directly correlated with proven economic conditions. It would manifest through a rise in global trade agreements, sustained growth in foreign investments, and verifiable government success in reducing corruption and stabilizing the banking sector. The final step would be the international acknowledgement of this enduring progress, gradually reflected in the currency's value. This is the process of legitimate financial growth, step by careful step. Those who track these verifiable indicators will always be the first to know when something real is beginning, and they will not be required to frantically chase down rumors. The strength of the holding community itself is a significant, often overlooked part of this story. People across the globe share this single dream, and a supportive, informed community can be a vital defense against mistakes. The commitment to sharing only verified information protects everyone within the community, while actively warning others about potential scams safeguards the vulnerable. Celebrating real economic progress, however slow, maintains a positive and grounded energy. The excitement of today can forge powerful bonds, but the core mission of community engagement must be responsibility, not the creation of false hype merely for views or clicks. True mutual support requires honesty, especially when the desired news is not yet available. Let us address the matter of emotional readiness once more. Holding out for a major financial event requires a high degree of emotional maturity. Should the IQD or VND ever experience a significant surge in value, RS will face unprecedented decisions regarding financial responsibility, tax management, and long-term planning. Being prepared for this moment means educating oneself about wealth management now, before the rush of excitement over a potential gain overwhelms one's judgment. Unprepared individuals often struggle to manage new wealth responsibly, losing it as quickly as they acquire it. Therefore, while patiently waiting, the most productive action is to prepare. Cultivate the mindset and financial literacy required for success long before the success itself arrives. Rumors are loud and fleeting, but the truth is enduring and does not require shouting. The concrete truth of the current moment is that there is no official confirmed announcement of a massive revaluation for either the Iraqi Dinar or the Vietnamese Dong. What is undeniably present are encouraging economic signals that merit close, informed observation and long-term possibilities that one can reasonably believe in. However, nothing that has been confirmed demands fast, immediate action. This should allow every holder to take a deep breath, remain calm, and focus on protection. False urgency is the primary enemy of rational financial decision-making, and verified knowledge is the only true shield. Remain hopeful, but above all, remain incredibly careful. So, what is the most constructive emotional state for a holder right now? It is to be motivated, informed, and balanced. There is absolutely no flaw in believing that one's speculative holding has potential for future growth. However, responsible belief is always accompanied by realistic expectations. It is entirely possible to look forward to future possibilities while simultaneously ensuring that every present financial decision is grounded and wise. The pursuit of shortcuts is always a dangerous path that leads to traps. Anyone promising guaranteed results must be immediately ignored, as no such guarantees exist in any speculative market. Staying tethered to verified news and turning away from creators of unsupported rumors is the foundational mindset that prepares one for whatever the future ultimately reveals. Stepping back to the global narrative is essential for context. Iraq and Vietnam are undeniably emerging nations, and their progress on the world stage deserves significant recognition. Should their currencies eventually rise to reflect this growing national and economic strength, it will be a major win for everyone who placed their faith in their potential. But even separate from any sudden revaluation event, their ongoing economic development is a positive story for their people and the global economy. This development creates jobs, improves infrastructure, and expands opportunity. Investors who celebrate this foundational progress, not just the dream of a windfall profit, are the ones who truly grasp the underlying value of global growth. By holding IQD or VND, one is a silent partner in that unfolding story, whether the value rises slowly over time or faster than expected. As we bring this critical report to a close, let the most important message resound. 8. Clearly. Hope remains undeniably alive, but confirmation is fundamentally absent. The volume of the rumors is loud, but the proof remains definitively quiet. This necessary imbalance dictates that excitement and caution must coexist in equal measure. While there is no verified, official revaluation event happening right now, there is real, tangible economic progress unfolding in both nations that demands intelligent monitoring. And if the major, life-altering change finally arrives one day, you will not require secret codes or private invitations. It will be public, undeniable, and universally reported. Until that day, hold smart, think smart, and never permit hype to dictate your decision-making. This channel remains dedicated to providing clear, responsible updates that respect your intelligence and prioritize the protection of your holdings. Thank you for watching and for committing to staying fully informed in a market saturated with noise. We encourage you to share this message with others, as separating facts from fiction is the greatest service we can provide to this community. Your financial future deserves nothing less than the truth, grounded in verification. Stay hopeful, maintain your vigilance, and keep your focus anchored on information that is officially confirmed. We are committed to supporting you every step of this long-term journey. This journey is characterized by the need for unprecedented psychological discipline, which is a resource more valuable than any currency note itself. The ability to endure long periods of stagnation while resisting the impulse to chase every unverified claim defines a mature investor. Every day that passes without official confirmation reinforces the fact that this is a long-haul play, not an immediate event. Thus, who use the waiting period to educate themselves, to diversify their personal income streams, and to build a stable financial life independent of their IQD or VND holdings, are engaging in the most effective risk management strategy available. Their success will not be solely dependent on an external announcement, but on their own disciplined preparedness. Ultimately, the core challenge for the Dinar and Dong community is distinguishing between a plausible possibility and a verified probability. It is plausible that strong economies like Iraq and Vietnam could see their currencies rise to reflect their national wealth and industrial strength. It is not a verified probability that this will happen this week, this month, or even this year, and certainly not via a secret overnight flip. All verifiable data points to a slow, methodical process driven by governance reform, trade stabilization, and international confidence. The smartest way to honor the possibility of future gains is to manage one's present life based on the verifiable probabilities of real-world economic change, ensuring one is ready but not reliant on a speculative event. We conclude with a powerful yet simple instruction for navigating this high-stakes environment. Guard the gate of information. The only information that should be allowed to influence a financial decision is that which passes through the gate of official verification. A public statement from the Central Bank of Iraq, the State Bank of Vietnam, the IMF, or major, globally recognized financial news organizations. Information that comes through any other source, an anonymous post, a private chat, or an influencer's video, must be flagged for immediate and intense skepticism. The community's collective discipline in guarding this information. Gate will be the true measure of its maturity and the best protection against the scams and deceptions that inevitably follow high-volume rumors.